Hey, this is Craig Ballantyne, author of The Perfect Day Formula, and we are here finally with the fifth pillar of success. And this is something that I actually call the number one secret to taking action and achieving success. You absolutely, positively must have this in place. But first, a review of the 5 pillars. So we started off with better planning and preparation than ever before. Our second pillar is professional accountability, getting that coach or mentor in place. Our third pillar, positive social support, online or offline. Our fourth pillar, a meaningful incentive to change. When you have that in place, you're going to be able to get through those tough times and dark days. But really, your success truly depends on this fifth pillar. It's the one that has the biggest impact of them all. And in fact, every time I write about it, I capitalize these words, the big deadline. It is the number one factor for success, and it keeps you going, and it helps you in 3 different ways. If you don't have a deadline, you'll procrastinate forever and ever and ever. And that's why we struggle to take action and achieve our big goals and dreams. But when you put that big deadline in place, all of a sudden now you have some fire under your butt. You're gonna get going. And so here's how it operates. When you have a big deadline in place, it spurs you to action. It helps you overcome what I call the initial inertia. So if you want to lose 10 pounds and you say, I'm going to lose 10 pounds this year, there's no deadline. There's no real incentive for you to get going. But if you say, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in 60 days, well, you tell somebody, you get some accountability, and you darn well better start taking some action today. So that deadline spurs you to action, overcoming the initial inertia. It's always hard to get started, and it helps you that way. Now, the second place that a big deadline helps you is that it gets you the motivation you need to keep going through tough times halfway through. But when you're halfway through and halfway to your deadline, you think, you know what, that deadline's coming pretty quick. I better keep going, and I've done all this work before. I'm not going to lose it, so I'm going to keep going through this. And that's what we see in our 12-week transformation contest, both in business transformations and in our weight loss transformation contest at Turbulence Training. We see that when there's a 12-week program or a 60-day program, when people are halfway through and they're thinking, oh man, I got to do this again, they also think, you know what, I'm halfway through. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see the finish line. I'm going to keep going. And so that's a second way that the big deadline helps us. And then finally, the third way that the big deadline helps us is that it really gets us going and sprinting to the finish. And we all know that if we've ever run a race, or we've ever played a sport, you know the time is ticking down. You know that you start acting with urgency in those final minutes, in those final miles. And so even if you hit the wall at mile 20, you're gonna run faster at mile 25 because you see that finish line, you're gonna sprint to it. And so that's a third way that it helps us. And so if you're starting a business and you wanna have something done by a certain amount of time, you're gonna start working faster and faster and faster to be successful. And just like when you have a sale in your business, you're going to find that most people are going to wait until very close to the deadline, and then you're going to have a flood of action, a flood of sales. And so that is powerful to also make sure you have a big deadline in your business, a deadline for other people to take action, as well as having a big deadline in your own life to spur you to action in those 3 ways. It gets you going, keeps you going, and it makes you go faster to the finish. So that's the fifth pillar of success. The number one factor in achieving success and taking action is having a big deadline in place. And when you have all 5 pillars in place, better planning and preparation than ever before, professional accountability, having your coach, positive social support, having your cheerleaders, a meaningful incentive to change, really digging deep and finding out why you want to do this, and then having that big deadline to put all of those in place, that's when you achieve extraordinary results in every area of your life. And that's all part of what I call the perfect day formula. So if you want all of this, go to perfectdayformula.com, watch the video, get all of the success tools that we have for you there to dominate your days, own your life, and really take control of your future. That's what the 5 pillars are about. They help you transform and have success in every area of your life. I'm Craig Ballantyne from earlytorise.com and creator of the Perfect Day Formula.